Hey Matt, so I'm here at 103, was it Vista Montagna Loop in Cedar Crest. Um, you do have a shared driveway at the initial entrance of your property, just from this, if you can see it there, the road. Your property line, from what I can tell, goes out to the road. I'm not sure how far in back it goes, but I'll show you where I think it is. There's nothing staked, so it's going to be strictly a guess. So the house actually is pretty private. You have a house up there on the hill that looks down over you, but they have no windows facing this direction. It looks like you're well landscaped with natural local natives. You've got some desert willow. I can't remember what these are called. You've got some rabbit bush. Not sure what that is with no leaves on it. And I think this is Russian sage. And then some other sort of flowering desert tree there. It's hard to tell with no leaves on this time of year. Walking the outside, some of the maintenance that needs to be done is the wood needs to be sanded and restained. That'll help preserve it and keep it from dry rotting here in this environment. That can be an issue here. You've got a nice front patio or stoop. The floors, the wood floors are out, could use a sanding and a restaining. There's and evidently some of the doors need to be planed. I'll show you all the stuff that I see as we go through. But you've got a foyer here, custom door. You do have water coming in here. I don't know if it's old. It was just old staining. I'll ask about the roof. There's a couple of places where I see water damage, but it doesn't look like it's fresh. And we just had a pretty good storm last week, so it should probably still be at least a little wet. Yeah, you've got some staining up in there too. And possibly some black mold growing. So you might have to do a little mold remediation. I'm super sensitive to mold because of a house I went through in Miami. And I'm not having any reactions, so I don't think the situation is horrible. Master bedroom is back here. All the carpet in the house needs to be replaced. And if you were going to refinish or actually replace the wood in the living area, it might be an opportunity to put wood throughout that matches. Just off the master, you've got a patio area and a really good view of the Sandias. You've got a retaining wall. Some of this property here is going to be yours. I'll show you out there on the patio also. And I think that these windows are an opportunity, at least one set of them, for some French doors to go out onto your patio, so you have access, and then maybe a hot tub out there. The bathroom is done in a Mexican tile. The updating that's required in here, in my opinion, is countertops, vanity, and the tub is probably salvageable, but maybe these tiles, if you don't want to be so southwest. And there's also a mold issue going on here on these walls. I'm going to say that it's because of moisture in here and not a strong enough fan to pull the moisture out. There is a fan here, so you just have to upgrade it, I think, and probably open the window a little more. Speaking of windows, some of the glass needs to be replaced. These are thermals, they're double pane, and once you get moisture in between the panes, that indicates that there's probably a leak. So they're not doing the double pane part and you're getting moisture in there. There are a few. I'll show you as we go through the house. You've got a walk-in closet. That's not a stain, that's just from walking. And the walk-in closet does have a skylight, so you've got nice natural light in there. Your ceilings in here are done with the beams and tongue and groove. All the doors are unfinished wood throughout the house, so they match. The living room, this is about a 10-foot ceiling, and it's beam, and you've got, that's probably juniper. That's laid in between juniper beams. I do see some separation of the beam here from the Kiva fireplace. It might just need caulking. I don't see any water damage. The Kiva could use some paint. You've got fantastic windows here that look out over the Sandias, and I see a lenticular cloud forming over them. Dining is here right off the living area. You do have double doors here that go out onto the patio. We'll go out there in a minute. The kitchen could use some updating. The cabinets are done in knotty pine, so the lowers are kind of crusty looking, but nothing that couldn't be sanded and brought back to life. You do have gas. It's probably propane here. It's a 5-burner. And the countertops, my thought is this countertop here really breaks up the room and makes this, it's just too high. So I think what I would do is I would put a new countertop in, but I would take this down to the level of the countertop. Maybe just down to here so that you can have bar stools on the other side. There is a pantry off the kitchen. Shelves are a little warped, so maybe replace some shelving. And you do have the Mexican tile in this area as well. I see one crack, so there may have been some foundation settling at some point and they cracked all the way across. New flooring would fix that. I'm not an inspector, but I don't think that that is structural. Laundry room is here to the left. Electrical panel is filled, which isn't a problem. There are 3 steps down into the garage. The garage smells dry and clean. There's your mechanical room. The hot water heater looks like it's probably pretty old, and the furnace looks a little old as well. So this is forced air for the heat, and for the cooling, it's evaporative cooling. Yeah, you could use a dishwasher too. It's evaporative cooling, which means that it puts basically moisture into the air and cools that way. And they usually do a pretty good job, and I don't see any duct work, so it may be difficult to get actual refrigerated AC in here. You've got a skylight in the kitchen, and I am seeing some water damage up there. Again, that might be old. I will pose some questions to the listing agent about the age of the roof. There is a hole here where I assume there was a leak, and that was how they patched it. Going into bedroom number 2. These windows have to be replaced because of leakage in between the panes. This room is probably about 13 by 13, maybe 12 by 12. It's got a small closet. Off to the right is the guest bath and the bath for both of these bedrooms. Same thing in here. I think the tub can probably be saved. If you like the tile, it stays, or it can be updated. And I think in here a new vanity and sink as well. And bedroom number 3. It's a little bit smaller. It's probably 11 by 13, 11 by 12, somewhere in there. And this one has a walk-in closet. Going out onto the patio, you do have a brick patio. You've got a nice retaining wall. You've got some flagstone steps that lead you up to your yard. Thinking this used to be a fire pit. So you have this whole area that you can use. And I don't think I showed you, but one of the this glass here also probably needs to be replaced. So here you have an arroyo that directs water away from the house when it comes down off the hills. You have access to the driveway from here. And one of the bedrooms also has a spot on the ceiling that looks like there was a leak. Your beam here is a little cantilevered to the right, but I don't think that's a major issue. That's a typical thing here. I am seeing some stucco that needs repaired. It's not horrible, but I am seeing areas like that crack up there, and then there's another one next to it. That can probably be touched up and painted, paint matched. And then past the house, you have a little casita back here with another paved patio. You've got a fieldstone walkway that leads to that gate. That gate goes to the driveway. We'll go to the casita in a second. And this is your land here. All in all, for as close as you are to the neighbors out here, you're actually very private. And this is the casita. The casita has its own sub panel. The glass in here, that glass looks okay, but that glass should probably be replaced. There is a lot of settling. There's actually a hump here in the middle of the floor. I'm not sure what's going on under there. It's very squishy in that area. And I did notice we've got some dry rot around the doors. And looks like you have a lot of ground settling underneath here. I can't imagine what would be popping it up. We'd have to have somebody take a look at that during the inspection. The bricks on the pathway are kind of deteriorating. I think they're just a veneer, some of them. And that's it. I will talk to you soon. This is bedroom number 3, the one that had the walk-in closet, and there is the water damage on the ceiling.